This is going to be the storm zone. 80 degrees tomorrow, mid-70s as we look to Wednesday. But what happens later on in the week, we're going to kind of tip the scale a little bit. I also stopped by a second grade class, and I may have told a couple of jokes, like what's worse than raining cats and dogs? Hailing taxis. And then Jackson in the second grade said this one. How do you know if it is raining cats and dogs? When you step in a poodle. Good one, Jackson. There is an elementary school. Why do we go and talk to students about the power of severe weather? It's hard. Third graders trapped in school. 75 students were there. There's 15 students still trapped in the school. Upper level low spinning out here to the west. This is what's caused the Moore, Oklahoma tornado again. We've got divergence in the atmosphere. When you have that split going on, that allows the air to accelerate as it moves up in the atmosphere, and you get explosive thunderstorms. Now, we still have that here. We don't know if there's people in here. That's the thing that just gets me is this just happened an hour and a half ago.
Those cars just tossed around.
You don't know if there's anyone still in there that is
And we don't really
dead
know
or
what building this is. This isn't the school that you mentioned earlier in the show, is it?
I don't believe so. The school was more in a residential area, but even some of the reporters there had to ask what was here. They couldn't recognize it anymore because that kind of looks like a strip mall or maybe a hospital of some sort. Again, this is happening in Moore, Oklahoma.
It's much quieter now than it was just a few hours ago.
Yeah, we're still going to get some rain and some thunder as we take you through the overnight, but nothing like what we saw earlier on. Want to take a look at ExactTrack showing you all of the areas that had severe weather. There were 15 reported tornadoes in the country today. We'll talk about that. Also sharing some of your storm photos that you've given to us throughout the night coming up. But first, let's take a look at the damage here in the Forest City. I turn it over to Kelsey Passel with a live report. Kelsey.
Hey, Eric.
But more importantly is this east wind is going to have less of an effect on us as the temperatures of the lake warm up. You see already 50 to 55 degree water temperature in the southern portion of Lake Michigan. So as Lake Michigan warms, means these cool breezes are not going to work so far inland. Of course, you get that cooler by the lake straight through the summertime, but it's not going to move this far inland as we head through the next several weeks. So we'll have to look in a different direction for our cold air, and that will be a cold front that gets here as we look toward the weekend. I'm going to skip tomorrow's. Tomorrow's going to be gorgeous, but up to 79 degrees Wednesday. But look at that 5-day trend, which has us only with high temperatures this weekend, Sunday, at about 52 degrees.
Raleigh. The same storm system responsible for the tornado disaster in Moore, Oklahoma, may be responsible for severe weather here tonight.
We have team coverage first in the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Eric Sorensen and Meteorologist Joe Astolfi both tracking storms with an eye to our southwest. Eric.
Yeah, that's where we're going to watch for the movement of thunderstorms here this evening. Most of the day has been dry. It's been fine. It's been wonderful. 2 thumbs up here. In fact, ExactTrack right now showing us quiet conditions across all of northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. But as Joe Astolfi pans out, we look down to the south. Here is where the storms are coming from. A tornado watch in effect for western portions of Illinois. Supercell thunderstorms not far away from Quincy are severe, and these are moving off to the northeast. So you can just kind of put 2 and 2 together that northern Illinois will be under the gun later on tonight. Now, we do believe there will be a new issuance of some sort of weather watch here that we have highlighted, which will include Rockford. Wouldn't be surprised if that takes place in the next hour or so, with the idea that we have storms here as we look toward the late evening hours. We're talking after 8 p.m. tonight. More than likely, our 10 p.m. newscast is going to be very stormy, and that continues through the night tonight. The big tornadoes that have been down in Oklahoma, that's where the dynamics for tornadoes are going to stay tonight. We're going to be talking about the potential, much like last night, of seeing some very gusty wind and also some hail. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but I think that threat really goes down as the sun sets. Full Weather Authority forecast coming up. Kristen and Eric, back over to you. We expected thunderstorms last night. We expect them again tonight, and they're a little bit late to the party. If you look at ExactTrack HD, there's nothing going on here, so we've got quiet weather for the next hour. However, we are tracking thunderstorms and new storms now out toward Des Moines. What's going to happen this evening are these thunderstorms that are out here toward Keokuk, Iowa, will be near Davenport about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and Rockford area about 10. It's going to be interesting as thunderstorms develop out here in Des Moines. These are going to progress from west to east, and these are moving up toward the north, and they're all going to work together. I do anticipate some sort of watch will be needed, especially with this storm popping up, so this watch will probably cover most of northern Iowa and northern Illinois as we take you through the evening. Here's a look at the motion. New watch popping up right at the top of the hour for parts of southwestern Illinois, and you can even see a couple of cells trying to pop out just west of Springfield toward Jacksonville, Illinois. These will continue lifting off toward the northeast. No tornado reports here initially, just severe thunderstorms. However, confidence is building that these are going to congeal into what we call a QLCS, just a complex of very heavy thunderstorms as they work in. Again, 8, 10 p.m., that's when things are going to be at their worst. As far as the threat track goes, we're going to keep a low risk, but hey, it's not going to take much for us to bump this back up to an elevated risk if we believe that there's going to be a tornado threat. However, right now, it looks like this is going to come right at sunset as that tornado threat would decrease. So that's good news. 80s outside, it's very, very nice, but it is muggy. Look at the dew points right now into the 50s. An upper level low, this is what was responsible for giving us the jet stream. Notice how the jet stream parallel here, and then it splits. And that's what caused the big tornado out into Oklahoma. But we also have a split going on in the jet stream here. That's what's causing the storms to pop up into parts of Iowa here tonight. Here are the surface features, what's happening down at ground level. We'll have thunderstorms developing here, be fairly likely through our 10 o'clock newscast, maybe through about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then as the cool front stretches through the area for tomorrow, our chance of severe weather goes down drastically, and even the rain chances will stick around through about Thursday, but nothing like what they saw down to the south and what we could see with some damaging wind tonight. 65 degrees, strong thunderstorms developing in the next couple of hours. Joe and myself will be here to watch them for you. Strong storms possible before noon tomorrow. 81 in your accurate 7-day forecast showing us temperatures cooling off a little bit. 71 Wednesday, 67 on Thursday. Heading into the holiday weekend, not half bad. A little on the chilly side for Saturday, 50 to 72, but we do warm it into the mid-80s on Memorial Day Monday.
It's good to know that you guys are keeping an eye on things for us because, you know, and we talked about this, about the sirens going off. I think a lot of people get worried when they're not close to a TV or not close to a radio and they rely on their sirens. It's also nice to be able to have some other way to notify them when some bad weather's on the way.
Yeah, last night when those sirens went off, we were first on the air to tell you that there wasn't a threat for tornadoes. The rotation just wasn't there on the radar last night.
All right.
Thank goodness.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. Stay here. Our business report is next.